One such personality is this fine gentleman driving the HWM, presented in the Concours with Mr. Gregor Fiskin. I don't think Peter would have ever driven this car this slowly, but it's the 1955 HWM Jaguar. HWM standing for Hersham and Walton Motors. Howard, they were one of the first companies to actually use the Jaguar.
Fuss around Formula One, and just to tell you, when I need some tyres, I used to see Dunlop Mac and give him a fiver, and I got five new tyres. So life was easy, and you know, it was an easy time. You were what's called a private gear.
For organising this, it's great to have such a hero of our industry, a hero of the motorsport here with us in his motor car. Now, here's one for the archive. Well, in 10 years' time, when you drive it again, we can look back on today, can't we? Absolutely. Yeah, for the 100th birthday. Well, Peter, thank you. It's always a great pleasure to see you. Gregor, thank you. And well, I think that's the highlight so far. We don't mess around here. I don't think we'd let anybody else do that, would we? Well, that's really what a special moment, a very special person, and what an honour that Peter's joined us here and driven the car, so thank you. Well, that was a treat, ladies and gentlemen. You were there. Now we're delighted to introduce the Decade Awards. All of the owners who enter the concourse, there's a unique process here in the concourse, and get to vote for the car they most like to take away. That gives us the best of show winner, but also gives us the decade winners. So the pre-1915 category has been won by this wonderful 1904 Fiat 2432 Open Tourer, brought to us by Shane Houlihan. So Shane, congratulations. You've won, I mean, an unsurprising winner. What a wonderful motor car. You know, not because there were so few in the category, you understand, but because it is the most special in the category. Voted for by your peers, by the other entrants, as you know. But you told us a bit about the story of this car the other day when it came up. I particularly wanted to briefly mention the fact that it was temporarily underground, wasn't it?
That's correct. It gave almost 10 years buried in the late fall.
Somebody hand you an award. Well, don't go till you've got the award. Hang on a minute. I like these mudguards, Richard. I'd like, if this was wet, I wonder if Tim might get a little wet there. It seems like they were designed to annoy pedestrians. I think what it was, it would make sure that the owner and passengers stayed dry while they threw all the water on the poor people by the side of the road. So, as we were saying, this spent its early life in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Having been, as Shane explained, having seen the car and bought it for the honeymoon, this was shipped back to Cape Cod. And Mabel, who was the original owner, drove the Fiat with her brother for some 28 years before, when Mabel died, the car was buried with her.
Here we are.
Well, Wilhelm Schmidt, who's CEO of our presenting partner, Elangonzona, presenting the Decade Award to Shane Houlihan for this wonderful 1904 Fiat 2432 Open Tourer. the winner of the pre-1950 category. Congratulations to Shane.
Congratulations, Shane. Well deserved.
As ever, it's not just the car that wins, it's the backstory.
Thank you. Congratulations. Shane driven. So the next car, which is the car in our 1920s decade award, is the 1929 Alfa Romeo 6Series 1750 with coachwork by Zagato. The Zagato body 1750 is without doubt one of the prettiest pre-war motor cars, and the smaller brother of the mighty 8C Alfa Romeo. We're going to have a look at the car in a minute, but as you can see, it's got a long louvered bonnet, flowing wings, absolutely delightful lines on this car, but you'll notice it has 3 headlights. This is a competition car for the road in its truest sense, and this actual car was prepared, Richard, by Alfa Romeo for the 1929 Mille Miglia, which it went on to win, piloted by Giuseppe Campari and Giulio Ramponi. And of course, look at this wonderful original condition, the sound, you can hear the supercharger. It's an absolutely wonderful. We've seen you before. You've got lots of driving, having fun. Fold down screen, long louvered bonnet, delicate lines. The 1750 Alfa 6C by Zagato. It's interesting, Richard, because it sits quite high off the ground. I mean, the Mille Miglia, as you know, was a bumpy road circuit, 1,000 miles around Italy, from Brescia to Rome and back. And of course, the roads, these cars survived because they were high. They were going through potholes, they were hitting bumps in the road, and clearly having high ground clearance is useful.
Well, that's right. There's a lot of stuff under there you don't want to get damaged. But great to see it. Thank you for bringing the 1929 Alfa Romeo 6C 1750, the winner of our 1920s Decade Award. Now the next motor car is a very special motor car indeed. Well, then they all are, aren't they? Don't forget it's the entrants who voted for the winners of these classes. And the winner of the 1930s class is this gorgeous 1931 Bentley 4.5 litre blower with very elegant coachwork by Gurney Nutting, and we're delighted that Anne Brockington Lee, the owner of the car, has sent it over to be with us for the concourse. And this, of course, a very well-known Bentley model from the era. The blower Bentleys, 50 were built to homologate the car, and 5 were built to race. And this was privately owned by the chairman of the company, by Wolf Bonato, the only person in history to have won every Le Mans race he entered. He entered 3 and won 3. Other drivers have won more, but then they've lost a few as well. But Wolf Bonato entered 3 in 28, 29 and 30 and won each one. But this is a 1931 blower, one of the late blowers of the 50 built, with this unusual coachwork that has 2 seats in the front and 1 in the back, with its own aero screen in the rear. Very flamboyant styling by Gurney Nutting. You'll see these wings with the elegant turned up ends to the wings. And as we were saying, Peter, these were inspired by the helmets on the firemen at Le Mans, the bombeurs, the firemen at Le Mans.
Interesting inspiration for that.
Inspired the shape of the tips of the wings on the Gurney Nutting coachwork.
He was quite a character, quite the sportsman, Wolf Bonato. So just briefly tell us the story of the Blue Train Bentley, for those that might not know about it, the run.
Well, the Blue Train Bentley was a 1930 Speed 6 Bentley, and that of course was the winner of the 2013 Concours Of Elegance in St James's Palace, and was with us here last year to celebrate the Bentley 17. Now Peter, something special coming up just now.
Well, this is the 1940s award, and this is rather unusual. This is a 1948 Land Rover. This is chassis number 1. This is the very first Land Rover sold to the public. And you'd be forgiven to ask for asking, what's a scruffy old Land Rover doing in the Concours Of Elegance? Well, of course, it's not any Land Rover. This is the very first one built, inspired by the Willys Overland post-war Jeep, and christened Land Rover to rove the land. Launched in Amsterdam at the Motor Show in 1948, and within a year they had sold an incredible 8,000 examples. The original Land Rover, in fact, Richard, had a central driving position, so clearly inspired the McLaren F1. But no, a very, very special car. But it's the backstory with this car. This car was lost for many years. It was in a field, on a farm, and discovered some many years later, and it was restored to this condition. They did their very best to maintain as much patina and originality as possible, just to demonstrate how well this car has survived.
And as you say, if it was restored to this condition, it must have been in a pretty poor condition before. On the 1940s Decade Award. Peter, a particular favourite of yours coming up. This is the 1950s award winner, and this is this gorgeous 1958 BMW 507, one of only 253 examples built, presented in a desirable spec, including the original Rudge centre-lock wheels that finished in very chic colours. And as you were saying, you know, Elvis Presley drove one of these, so did John Surtees, even Ursula Andress drove one.
But today, the present drivers are more important than all of those, because they've won a prize at the Hampton Court Concours Of Elegance. So congratulations, and it's very beautifully dressed in the super motor car. As you say, it's a V8, it's a rare car, you know, tall centre-lock Rudge wheels, and I think it has a real muscular styling, and that V8 motor produced a decent amount of power. They were fast cars, and I think it's the detailing, like the ivory coloured wheel on them. You know, this is a glamorous motor car. This is a car for the Riviera. This is a car for California. A very, very glamorous and sexy motor car, and beautifully presented and fittingly attired.
So thank you for bringing this wonderful car. This is the winner of the 1950s Decade Award, ladies and gentlemen, the 1958 BMW 507. Delighted to see it. There's a great backstory for this car, which I won't tell you now because it would take too long, but go meet the owner. Here's another backstory, a lovely romantic story to that car.
Well, Richard, the winner from the 1960s is the 1965 Ferrari 275 GTB Competizione Caliente with the owners John and Jeanette Corrie. And we should remember, we've talked about battles between Ford and Ferrari for outright victory at Le Mans in the 1960s. But further down the field in the GT, lower down the pack, these cars were racing, and these are the cars that, based on a road car, but with many, many features developed by the factory for competition. Outside fuel filler, it's more powerful, it has a lightweight aluminium body, external fuel filler, and what people are really attracted to on these cars, Richard, are these louvers in the sail panels and behind the wheels here for venting and cooling. But it's a very rare car. There were only 10 of these cars built in this series. And in fact, they were so successful that Ferrari went on to build another series called the GTB-C, which had magnesium, and it was developed in the works competition department. But with other, with 275s, they come as a 4-cam, and they have a long nose. This is the short nose configuration, the purest of the breed, and it's absolutely stunning. Thank you.
And the last award winners, as voted for by the entrants, is this 1970 Ferrari 365 GTB4, also known, of course, as the Ferrari Daytona, owned by the Gilbert Smith family, Peter.
Well, I think this is a car we should actually christen ourselves and just call it Bertie, because with its plexiglass headlight. I mean, the Ferrari 365 GTB4, also known as the Daytona, or commonly known as the Daytona. It's a V12, it has 6 carburetors. This is a very rare colour in this viola, and it perfectly suits Bertie. It's an early car, Richard, because it has the plexiglass rather than the pop-up headlights. But of course, it wasn't called the Daytona, but it became known as the Daytona following Ferrari's first, second and third finish in prototypes at the 1967 Daytona 12-hour race. So another car that's gained its name from Ferrari's racing victories. And wonderful owner, you've seen him around. He's fully responsible for making sure all the cars get around safely and are presented on the stage. Head of the marshals, and Bertie, Gilbert Smith, beautifully driven.
Congratulations, Bertie, our racing car with a racing driver. Delighted to see that was voted for by the entrants to vote for the best of show here at Hampton Court, as they do for all of the decade winners. So it's nice to know that your car has been selected by your peers to represent that decade. So it shows that it must be a wonderful motor car. 3 limited series of 100 cars each to celebrate the centenary. So delighted that Mr. and Mrs. Ron Parry are here with this wonderful car. They were here last year with their number 9 edition Bentley Continental. So here they are with the GTC, the open version of the Bentley Continental. Delighted that Ron is with us now. Here's a true Bentley fan. Oh, I see the actual owner of the car is driving. Well done, Karen. Delighted to see you driving the car. Thank you very much for coming to join us. Just a very quick word, if I may. Let me turn this microphone on. So you're looking very much at home there. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I love it. It's really good to drive.
This is almost your daily driver, isn't it?
Yeah, almost.
Well, if you're going to drive in style.
Yeah,
But do you sometimes allow your passenger to drive the car as well?
No, he doesn't do
No, he's not allowed to drive it. Well, he's not badly off for an everyday driver himself, isn't he? But thank you for coming to join us, both of you. You're great supporters of it, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and we'll have to decide what you come in with next year, won't we? Thank you very much. Good to see you. Well done. Congratulations to the Bentley Continental GT #1 edition celebrating the Bentley Centenary in 2019.
Well, Richard, the next car in our future classics category is the 2018 Ferrari LaFerrari Aperta with its owners Nigel and Sarah Allen. And just as the F40 and the F50 mark 40 and 50 years of the legendary Maranello company, the LaFerrari Aperta convertible was launched to mark the Italian Mark 70th anniversary. It's Ferrari's most powerful road legal motor car to date, with a monster 950 brake horsepower on tap. So there's little point in quoting the 0 to 60 miles per hour time, but this little red rocket will propel itself, leaving parts of its owners behind, to an astonishing 186 miles per hour in just 15.6 seconds, and keep going until 217 miles per hour. It's a limited build of 210 LaFerrari Apertas, and this car was the first delivered to the UK. Thank you, Nigel. That's very nice. No, you can hold on. You're going to get.
Nigel, just a quick word, because we just had a Bentley Continental GT brought up by its owner, Karen. Now, you've been allowed to drive this car by the owner as well, have you?
Well, I am the owner.
Oh,
So, yes.
I thought it might have been somebody else who's
It's
not.
not Sarah, it's mine.
This is all yours, is it?
It is. I'm
Well,
very
it's a
lucky-
fantastic
very
car.
lucky and delighted to be able to own the car.
Well, thank you for bringing it. It is a wonderful car, and this will truly be a concourse classic in a few years'
I
time.
just want to comment on these mirrors, Richard, Nigel, because I've always looked at these and thought, why are they like that? And they almost make a statement as if to say, well, there might be somebody behind, but they're a long way away, that's for sure. I think they're incredible.
Thank you very much. Well, they were a very expensive optional extra. These were actually upgraded from the standard mirrors, and probably most people have no idea what they actually cost. But I'll share a secret. They were £18,000.
18,000 pounds, and do you still need makeup when you look at them?
I don't. Fortunately.
Well, I mean, with a car like this, who cares how much the mirrors cost? All you want to be is behind it. Good to see you, Nigel. And Nigel and Sarah Allen, great supporters of the Concours of Elegance, winners at the Honourable Artillery
Thank you,
Company.
Nigel.
Thank you. Well, next up, Richard, we've got something. Richard, now, we've talked about the 917K Porsche, and this car is a 2016 build, 964 by Singer. And Los Angeles-based Singer vehicle design was founded by Rob Dickinson in 2009, and all Singers are based on the 964 model of Porsche from the early 1990s. Most of the bodywork is replaced, the interiors are beautifully redesigned, and of course the mechanicals are completely re-engineered. And this car, as you can see if you've seen the 917, pays homage and tribute to the 1970 Le Mans winner that's here today. So this is the 57 Porsche custom build by Singer, and puts out an incredible 350 brake horsepower, which is compared to the original car of 250. But you pay the price. These cars cost around 600.
That is that wonderful Singer Porsche. And the last of the future classics coming up is a very special motor car indeed, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one-off, announced only this Friday. This is the one-off 2020 Aston Martin Victor, brought to us courtesy of the owner who commissioned it. So a private individual developed this motor car as a complete one-off Q commission. The incredible dramatic looking beast takes its name from former Aston Martin owner, chairman and chief executive, Mr. Victor Gauntlet. And Victor was responsible for leading Aston Martin through the difficult 1980s, as well as producing some of the marque's most muscular V8 models. But look at this beast, ladies and gentlemen. The Victor is a melting pot of technical highlights from the very limited 177 and the track-only London. The 7.3-metre V12 is the most powerful road-going naturally aspirated car in the marque's history. It's the ultimate combination of raw power, avant-garde design, cutting-edge technology, mod materials and traditional craftsmanship. Finished with elegant pattern green, upholstered in forest green and cookler bridge and rear leather. And the headlining, you'd love to know, is the finest cashmere. So this is an astonishing value. Are we going to keep it going? Keep the fan on. We're going to keep the fan on. We won't keep it too long, but we would like to tell you that this has been voted as the winner of the Future Classics Award for 2020. So I'm told by the people who judged this motor car that it wasn't a difficult decision, even though there were some wonderful motor cars in the Future Classics cars. This is such a unique one, obviously, but it is unique. It's such a unique motor car that we are delighted to tell you that you've got a prize to take away to pass to the owner. Thank you very much indeed. And now we're going to bottle of champagne as well. Even better. Let me get a bottle of champagne. A lovely warm bottle of Charles Heinzig you to take and to pass on to the owner with our best wishes and say thank you. But Mark, you can tell us a bit about Mark. You run the bespoke division of Aston Martin. That's the Future Classics class. So if you'd like to come back in about 60 years, you'll see that as part of the field, we'll want a wonderful winner on the Future Classics class. This one-off 2020 Aston Martin Victor, and we are so pleased that the customer, who sadly couldn't be here for quarantine reasons, allowed this motor car to come anyway. And what a unique motor car, what a unique opportunity. That is the winner of the award for Future Classics 2020. Modern, and the first up is this Modern, which is a delightful 2008 Bentley Brooklands. Now this was going to be one of a limited edition of 550 cars built. This is a 2008 car, but lots of things went wrong in 2008 for the economy, so the company ended up making about 360 of them, so it's even rarer than it was planned to be. But it's a wonderful motor car, and we'd like to congratulate the owner of this. Just have a quick word.
I'm loving the pillarless coupe, Richard. We were talking about that at the London Concours.
We were talking to Ian Callum, of course, one of the great car designers of this country, who was saying it's the most beautiful of all designs to have the pillarless coupe. So how long have you had this car?
About 2 years.
And you must love it.
I do absolutely love it, yes.
I think, well, I used to work for the company. I think this is probably the finest interior we ever did.
Yes, I think you're probably right. It is.
It's just
gorgeous,
a sumptuous interior, yeah.
It is, yeah. Especially the headlining. Apparently, you're better off sitting in the back because that's the best place to view the headlining.
You get the full sweep, yeah. It is gorgeous, and I'm glad you're enjoying the car. Congratulations on winning the modern element to it, and therefore you're a runner-up for the award. But thank you very much for bringing it. It looks gorgeous. I hope you get to use it reasonably often.
Yeah, as much as I can, yes. Definitely.
Because they do enjoy to be used, these cars, don't they?
They should be used, definitely.
Yeah,
yes.
I probably shouldn't mention this publicly, but the last speeding ticket I got was in a Bentley Brooklands on the M40, and I saw the policeman on the bridge at the very last minute. I hit the anchors and managed to drag it down to 92 miles an hour.
Well done.
So I didn't get too much of a book thrown at me, but congratulations again, this gorgeous Bentley Brooklands from 2008. Peter, we were talking about the delightful R-Type Continental. Well, this is the follow-up to that. This is the S1 Continental by H.J. Muller. This is, I think, a 1957 car. So this is one of only 123 built, and this is Terry Umming with the car, I think. Now, tell us a bit about it. It's a lovely, elegant motor car. Are you a long-term owner, Terry, of this car?
I've only had this one for about 5 or 6 years, but it's my third S1 Continental.
Is it? So you're getting the hang of them then, are you?
This used to be owned by Roger Daltrey.
Oh, there you go. So it has pop star previous ownership.
In theory, yeah.
But it's lovely, and it's in superb condition. Of course, you are an award winner for the Bentley Drivers Club Award, but it's there. Was it like this when you got it, or have you done a lot of work to it?
I've done a lot of work to it.
Done a lot of work to it. It's been very nicely done, and I hope you get to use it quite a bit.
It's been all around America.
Has it?
Various other places.
So you're a rallier?
Yes.
Are you all ralliers?
Well, my wife and our daughter has to work, sadly, so she doesn't come with us.
Well, somebody's got to keep you in Bentleys, haven't they? So send her out to work. That's a good idea, yeah. And are you an enthusiastic or a reluctant rallier?
Oh, I'm enthusiastic.
She's having to think about it. Yeah, enthusiastic is the answer. Jolly good.
She likes the holidays, not worried about the cars.
Well, there you go. But thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to the concourse, and congratulations on being chosen for this award.
Thank you very much.
It's very interesting with the S1, Richard, the Continental, because it's a much straighter line through the body, but when we talk about R-Type Continentals, a lot of people like the manual version, but Bentley obviously didn't feel that at the time, because almost all bar 4 of the S1s, I think, were automatics, weren't they?
That's right, yeah. It was, obviously the company was owned by Rolls-Royce at the time, and so a lot of the technical features from the Rolls-Royce versions carried over. But yeah, on the R-Type there were a number of manuals, but then a lot moving to automatic by the time it got through to the mid to late 50s.
But it still has that wonderful Mulliner fastback styling, which is very distinctive.
It's interesting as well to see just the 7 TU registration, because TU is a Chester number. So that's right. Well, I'm delighted to say that the winner of the pre-war category in the Bentley Drivers Club Awards is this lovely 1936 4.25 drop head coupe by H.J. Muller. Georg, you were featuring in the RAC Club Trophy Award the other day. Delighted to see you here. Do you mind if I put this in front of you? Yes. Delighted to see you with this gorgeous car. Now, I know you know a lot more about it than me because it's your car, but we love to see this motor car because of this wonderful disappearing roof that Mulliner did. Of course, it had famous owners. Give to you,
thank you,
which is a little warmer than it should be for drinking. But congratulations, Georg, on this second win of the Bentley Drivers Club Award. And thank you to the club, to the Bentley Drivers Club, for being here in such great numbers, with such great enthusiasm again today. It's a long and happy association with the Concours of Elegance. And well done to the internationally acclaimed judging panel who judged this and came up with these 3 fine winners. But what a great winner of the overall award, that delightful 1936 4.25 drop head coupe by H.J. Mulliner, which was brought to us by Georg Elbergen. And as he told us, second time he's run it with this car, so didn't he do well? Congratulations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a few minutes break, but then, as Peter was saying just a few minutes ago, we're very excited about this new junior concourse that we're going to bring to you. So we've got some great little cars and some great little people coming this way shortly.